Hi guys, it's Jen, and I'm here to bring you a new process video using the Felicity Jane Chloe kit. That is the April kit. May kits are shipping in just a few days, and I'm so excited. It's a super pretty kit. It always is, but anyway, so I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be using before I get going here. I'm using this photo of my daughter and, well, a bunch of other kids on this really cool swing at a park that's kind of by our house. And I just wanted to document the fact that going to the park is one of those childhood things, and going on the swings never gets old. And just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to be using, I can't decide, I almost always do a white cardstock background, and I thought about doing this on 8.5 by 11 since I just have one small photo, but I'm not sure yet. I was thinking I might use these. These are from the add-on, like these were an add-on, but these little My Mind's Eye wood pieces, they are the same length as the photo, so I thought it might be nice to kind of line them up on it. And I was contemplating using this craft background, but I think I'm not going to. And so instead of using a plain white background, I think I might try to do it on this polka dot. And I do want to use a bit of this if I can. And the other things that I pulled to use is, this is from the cut apart sheet. This was a 3x4 card, and it was yellow with a white circle on it, and I just cut around the circle. So using that, and then I'm thinking about that word happy, and I like the way that it kind of matches this. And then I really like this flare that says everything. This one with the bird just kind of representing outdoors, and then some of these other puffy stickers. So those are the things I'm planning on using. I might use some of these On Trend 2 pieces as well. Maybe some of the pinker ones that match this kind of well. And so just having those out so that I can pull from the different things. And I might use this paper too with the tulips on it. So we'll see. And I'll probably incorporate the stamp set somehow also into this layout. So going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and get this layout started.
So as you saw, I kind of have a general idea of what I want to do, but I'm not exactly positive. And I decide that I'm going to, well, cut off the branding strip here. And then I'm just layering up these little wood strips to see how I like them, and putting the One Fine Day there as well. I'm trying to figure out where that happy puffy sticker will go, and playing around with putting that strip at the side. I felt like it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't have enough definition against the background, and so I cut a piece of the craft cardstock that came in the kit and stuck it next to it. And I'm not super loving that, but I think it kind of plays off the wood, so we'll see. And then I put the a little tab puffy sticker at the top. I kind of like the way that tops everything off. Actually, looking at this now, my completed layout looks completely different from this, but I kind of like the way this is looking right now. But I'm just going to go through some of the cut aparts, and I pulled out the labels, and I thought they would be a good way to do my journaling, so I will end up doing that. And I'm going to use some flair as well. I pulled out these little stickers. They're from My Mind's Eye On Trend 2 collection. They were an add-on, and I don't end up using those. I will end up using the little tile alphabets, which I think I used on the last Felicity Jane layout I did too. They're just a good size and a good combination with the puffy stickers, which is what I'll use them with. So I just pulled out a ton of stuff trying to see if I want to use it. And now I'm thinking maybe what's bothering me about those wood word strips is that they're too wood looking. So I take some white gesso and I'm just painting over the top of it. I'm using one of the words that I'm not using on this layout to just test this out, because I don't want it to kind of go in the grooves of the words. I still want the words to stand out. And I do like the way that looks, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint some white gesso. I'm just using an inexpensive paintbrush that comes with the cheap watercolor sets, and I'm just painting the wood words white. And the wood will soak up a little bit of that color, but it just softens them a little bit, and I like the way they look against the background better this way, so I'm going to do that to all three.
I'm just taking a little bit of care to make sure that I don't get completely into the cracks of the words because like I said, I still want the words to stand out. So I really like the way that just softens them up a little bit. It was a light wood in the first place, but I like it better. And now I feel like the craft doesn't really go. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do instead. And I thought maybe I would use one of the branding strips for a little border, but I don't like that either. And so I'm cutting, I felt like I needed something more solid, so I cut up that polka dot teal paper and that didn't work for me either. So now I'm kind of thinking, what do I really want? Do I want a 12 by 12 layout? And so I'm kind of thinking and hesitating on what I want to do. So I decide that since I'm just doing one 4x4 photo, that I'm going to cut this down to 8.5 by 11. And I do like the way it ends up looking. I've been loving doing 8.5 by 11 layouts lately, and I'm trying to decide if I want to use just that pink solid stripe instead of the multicolored stripe, and I think I like the way that looks better. And so I will end up using it, but I'm going to move it to the top, and you'll see that here in just a minute. So I decided to just use 2 of those wood words because I was having trouble deciding where to put my title, and now that I'm only using 2 at the bottom, I can place my title at the top. I'm going to use some of the die cuts from the My Mind's Eye Hello Gorgeous die cut pack, and I believe that was an add-on as well. And so the florals come from that, and so does that little banner that I end up incorporating into the title. But at first I think I'm going to put it up at the top, so that's my plan for now. I'm going to go ahead and get started sticking things down. And just kind of a little tip, I am using the polka dots to help me line everything up straight. So just lining my photo up so that it has an even row of dots on the bottom and the top and the sides. And then I'm going to overlap the One Fine Day. That came from, I think I mentioned at the beginning, I cut that out from a 3x4 card from the cut apart sheet, from the 12 by 12 card cut apart sheet. And now I'm going to place down these little label stickers to use for my titling. And I peeled off the sticker backing and just placed them down before I did the journaling. So I'll just journal on them and hope that everything goes okay. And now I'm playing around with that top cluster. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I'm playing around with it a little bit. So I pulled that little heart out of that's from the cut apart sheet, the 6x12 cut apart sheet that has a bunch of the labels and different things on it. And I placed that down to the left or to the right of the photo with the little bird flare, and I like the way that looks. So now I have 3 circles, 1 at the top left and then 2 at the bottom right, and I like the way that forms sort of a triangle around the photo. And I'm just adding some crochet thread to the little tags on those wood words. And I just looped those through and tied a knot at the end. And what you can't see me doing is I'm pulling those threads taut and stapling them down. So here you can see how I've stapled them. I just wanted something a little bit different. I didn't want them to hang there. So just decided to try something new. And so now I'm putting down that little floral piece to the left of the One Fine Day circle, and I really like the way that looks. And I decide that I'm not going to be able to work that puffy tab in, so that will go back into my stash. And now I'm using those little tile alphabet stickers to spell out the rest of my title. So I'm wanting to do something like "This makes me happy" or something like that, and I end up going with "makes me so happy," which isn't really a full sentence or whatever, but I don't care. And I end up handwriting the word "makes" with just my black Muji pen. So if you look at it closely, if you don't look at it closely, it kind of looks like it just says "me so happy," which is weird, but it's fine. I am going with it. So I'm just using kind of a loose script to write my journaling, and just writing about how cool that park was, and how Molia loves going to the park, and we're glad for days like that. So pretty simple. And after I do my journaling, I am just going to place that little banner up at the top above my title. And I really like the way that ends up looking there. And I just used some foam adhesive to pop that up, and it kind of frames everything in. And then I
drew some black lines on that pink pattern paper to just make it match with the sketchy lines of everything else. And that is pretty much going to complete my layout. I did add some black splatters of India ink, and now I'm just stamping the date. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, head over to felicityjane.com, where I will have this layout up on the blog with still photos, which are also coming up here at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful, scrappy day.